Okay, so let me just throw this out there because this is the thing that I have the biggest problem with. To me, this translates into a digital version of the stock notes that we have currently. Like, if I want to buy stock in a company, I buy shares in that company, which is already a digital thing, just like our money is. Nobody carries a bag of money from bank to bank when you do a wire transfer. But if I go on E-Trade or something and I buy shares in a company, what is the difference? Okay, like what is the real world difference between actually verifying on a ledger with blockchain that I own these shares in this company and they can't be taken or grabbed or snatched, or there's no jurisdiction, all these things that blockchain brings us, right, and cryptocurrency brings us. What is the real world difference between this just being the next step in stock notes?
Yeah, that's a great question. So let's look at it in, again, two different forms. The first is, you talk about stocks. So to really understand digital tokens, you have to see what their structure is. I would not say stocks is equal to digital token. Because stocks give you inherently, the way they're designed, they give you equity ownership of the company. If you own one stock based on millions of stocks that are out there for, let's say, Apple or Tesla or Facebook, whatever, you own that percent of the company. That's the legal instrument that we have created. Now, tokens do not mean that. Tokens are still being designed, meaning you could choose what that token stands for. You could have equity tokens. You could give equity rights and right to vote in a token. You can further give rights to dividends. You could give rights to profit sharing. So it depends on how you structure the specific token. So you have to really look into what that structure is. And one token is not the same as others. Right? So if you own a token for a Van Gogh painting, what does that mean? Is it giving you equity rights for the painting, for the one?
Could I just go buy all the tokens on that Van Gogh and then take it home?
Exactly. Does that mean that you could actually own the physical Van Gogh painting? Right. So these are questions that will be decided and designed for by the token issuer. Right. So point to remember is, takeaway, one token is not the same as the other token. Really do your study of what is the structure. Right. And it's different in every case. Now let's talk about what's the difference in. Well, you could trade stocks today. What's the big deal, right? So, 2 point of views. For the issuer, do you know what is the cost of IPO today for a typical company?
Something like 10% of their value.
Of their valuation, right? Not sure if that's the right number, but it's in the ballpark, right? So the point of the story is, it's expensive. So for an issuer to issue tokens, it is very, to issue stocks in an IPO world where general public could buy it, is quite expensive, and it's a long drawn process. What we have here is a process of issuing digital tokens that is quite regulatory rigorous, but at the same time it's not that expensive. That the cost has come down a lot. Right, so you will see a lot more companies actually issuing digital tokens in the future. I totally see that happening, as in the case of Overstock. Right, so you'll see that phenomenon. So that's point one. Point two, when we have these digital tokens, we are able to trade them globally on different exchanges. This will happen much more easier. As a user, we still don't know the back end of processing that happens when you settle shares, when you sell shares, and there is a whole custody process and a settlement process, etc., etc. So what this world is creating is a much more efficient back end process for issuing